Good morning, Western Washington, and happy Sunday, and happy first day of September, and first day of meteorological fall. I'm Matthew Fab with Western Washington Weather, and we're going to take a look at the active pattern we've got going over the next couple of days and the potential heat next week. So we're starting here with the UW satellite, and as you can see, there's a lot of these altocumulus clouds moving up through the Puget Sound area and western Washington at large, and this does indicate that there's a lot of instability in the atmosphere, and you can see those stretch all the way down into Oregon. And you can also see the marine stratus burning back toward the coast after coming as far inland as Olympia this morning, an indication there that it is getting cooler. So let's take a look at our overall pattern here. You can see this upper level low that's bringing the thunderstorm potential today and tomorrow. That's going to bring some southeast flow and instability over the Cascades that will bring a chance of thunderstorms there. So as we play this through here, you can see the upper level low moves into the Oregon-California border on Monday and then continues to weaken by Tuesday. And then notice this feature right here. This is going to be our next weather maker, as in heat maker of sorts. So you can see that ridge strengthens as we go through midweek, and then as we get to Thursday, that is going to be the hottest day, as that ridge is centered directly north of Washington, allowing a heat trough to form over the lowlands, which will bring quite warm temperatures, and we'll take a look at that in a couple minutes here. So starting here with the European model lightning forecast. So you can see this is Sunday afternoon, and you can see there's that chance of lightning over Oregon, and then mostly in the North Cascades and around Mount Rainier. And as we play this through here, you can see that lightning chance gets greater over the North Cascades this evening and around Mount Rainier. And then as we go through tonight, this is early Monday morning, and you can see that this chance of lightning is over the Oregon Coast Range, parts of the southern Cascades near the Cascade foothills, and then over the Olympics and near Hood Canal. This is the time we need to watch where there could be a chance of some of that lightning getting closer to the lowlands, as you can see as we continue on through Monday morning. Early before sunrise here still. This is lightning over the Cascade foothills of Snohomish and Skagit counties, and then the Oregon coast from roughly Newport to Astoria. So that chance does exist through the morning hours. And then as we go into the afternoon, you can see just a very high chance of lightning over the entirety of the Washington Cascades, especially the North Cascades. So that is definitely something to watch. As that goes into the evening, it starts to move off to the east. You can see, so there's 2 p.m. and there's 5 p.m. It moves off to the east and then diminishes and continues moving into eastern Washington through the evening. So now let's compare that to a much shorter forecast here. This is the high-resolution rapid refresh model. And you can see this is showing lightning potential, but over a much shorter period. This only goes until early tomorrow morning. So you can see it shows actually a chance of some lightning over the coast and Hood Canal this afternoon, and then a little bit over the Cascades. It's probably not picking up on how many thunderstorms could actually develop over the Cascades, especially the North Cascades this evening. And then as we go through tonight, though, you see a potential over the Columbia River Gorge and these storms that move up through western Washington. This means there could be a potential for some lightning late this evening over the I-5 corridor and Cascades of southern Washington. And you can see through late tonight that moves up into western Washington there, potentially in parts of the Seattle metro around 1 to 2 a.m. And then see here, it's 3 a.m. There is a lightning chance here for areas from Olympia to Tacoma, maybe Seattle, and that's where this forecast ends. So do stay tuned to my Facebook and Twitter pages, which you can find in the description of this video, and you can get some more updates on that as we go later into today. As we take a look at the instability here, so you can take a look here, this is 4 o'clock. Look at this significant amount of CAPE index, which is the instability measure over the Cascades and the Olympics and parts of the lowlands from Portland to Tacoma there. That just indicates that there is a good potential for thunderstorms, and as we go through all the way to Monday afternoon, you can see that potential exists again over most of the Cascades and into eastern Washington as storms move that way. So there is definitely an unstable environment out there for thunderstorms to form. But here's the concerning part of that. This is the National Blend of Models looking at precipitation totals all the way through Monday night. And you can see there's barely any precipitation falling with any of these thunderstorms, with the maximum amounts being around 1/10 of an inch in parts of the North Cascades. So with all of that lightning possible, there is a decent potential for new fire starts. So that is something we're going to have to watch closely over the next couple of days. So I will keep you all posted on that. But this is concerning that there is no precipitation, nearly no precipitation falling with these thunderstorms. So now let's shift gears. Let's take a look at temperatures today. It's going to be warm and a little bit muggy again today. From Seattle northward, expect highs in the upper 70s to low 80s with some mid 80s farther east of I-5. From Seattle southward, highs in the low to mid 80s, a little bit cooler than yesterday, but still a lot of areas reaching those mid 80s, and Kitsap Peninsula in the low to mid 80s. The coast is starting to cool down though, with highs dropping to the mid to upper 60s. And then as we go through Sunday, you can see cooling over the entire region. Highs in the low to mid 70s for most of the Puget Sound lowlands and the mid 60s on the coast. Tuesday, we do start to warm up a little bit from Seattle south back up into the mid to upper 70s. Still upper 60s to low 70s from Seattle northward and upper 60s on the coast. Wednesday, though, that ridge starts to build again, and we start to warm up more from Seattle northward, reaching the mid to upper 70s, Seattle southward, upper 70s to low 80s, and Olympia and Shelton southward, mid 80s are likely. And we do start to get some more warming on the coast, too, back up to the low 70s on the beaches and the upper 70s inland. And then this is what I wanted to point out here. Thursday is going to likely be the hottest day, probably of September, but we'll see how that plays out. From Seattle northward on Thursday, highs will reach the upper 70s west of I-5 to the mid 80s east of I-5, especially near the foothills. Some of those mountain valleys could even reach the low 90s. And from Seattle southward on Thursday and eastward into the foothills, highs will likely reach the mid to upper 80s with the potential to reach the low 90s, especially from Pierce County southward. Areas from Shelton and Olympia southward along I-5 will likely reach the low 90s. And you can see that chance of the low 90s in areas like Graham and Eatonville and Roy and Yelm in Pierce County as well. So, and then as we go through Friday, we will start to cool down a little bit, but that's looking pretty far out into the forecast. So stay tuned for information on that heat that is coming up there on Thursday. And as always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share these videos. There's a lot coming up over the next couple days here, so watch out for that thunderstorm potential over the Cascades and possibly over the lowlands late Sunday into early Monday. And stay tuned for the next video tomorrow, and I will talk to you all later.